Ladies and gentlemen, today I am deeply honored to stand before you and share a topic that I believe all of us encounter in our daily lives, yet not everyone is fully aware of. That topic is the impact of negative people on our energy and the importance of protecting our personal energy. We live in a chaotic world filled with endless challenges, temptations, and negative influences swirling around us. However, I want to emphasize that in this difficult journey of life, one of the most critical factors determining our success is our personal energy and a positive attitude. Let me start with a famous quote that many of you may have heard. Stay away from negative people. They have a problem for every solution. This may sound simple, but it reflects a deep truth in life. We are often surrounded by negative people, those who seem to drain our energy rather than contribute to our growth and development. Now, I'm not saying that this statement applies to every situation. We all have moments of weakness, times when we feel negative or imperfect. But the point I want to emphasize is that if we don't recognize or manage the negativity around us properly, it will slowly erode our energy and spirit. Over time, it can pull us into a downward spiral of frustration and helplessness. In life, we face not only external challenges like work, finances, or social responsibilities, but also mental and emotional struggles. These challenges often come from the people around us, from their interactions, attitudes, and the energy they bring into our lives. At some point, each of us has experienced situations where our energy was drained by someone else's negativity. It could be a colleague who constantly complains, a friend who fills us with worry, or even a family member who drags us down with their negative and pessimistic stories. The importance of energy and a positive attitude in life. So the first thing I'd like us to discuss is the importance of energy in life. Personal energy isn't just what you have when you wake up in the morning. It's not just physical, it's mental and emotional. Your personal energy includes the emotions, beliefs, and attitudes you bring to the world. It is the life force that helps you overcome challenges, seize opportunities, and build strong relationships with others. When we protect our energy, we can focus on what matters, be creative, and make wise decisions. But when our energy is drained by negativity, we become tired, lose motivation, and gradually lose control over our own lives. In this context, having a positive attitude is not just a choice. It is a crucial weapon to combat mental and emotional challenges. Let me invite you to think of a simple example. Imagine you're walking along a long road. A positive person will look ahead, seek opportunities, and be ready to face challenges. They know that every obstacle along the way is an opportunity to learn and grow. On the other hand, a negative person sees only difficulties and obstacles and constantly blames circumstances. They cannot look beyond the challenges, cannot find solutions, and they hold themselves back before they've even begun. This doesn't only affect them, but also impacts those around them. I'm sure you've experienced situations where a negative friend has drained your spirit or caused you to doubt yourself. And if you're not careful, that negativity can spread, pulling you into a pit of despair. What we need to do is recognize the negative people in our lives and find ways to protect ourselves from their harmful effects. We must understand that choosing the right people to accompany us on our life journey is incredibly important. This choice will significantly determine our success and happiness. Wouldn't you agree? In our daily lives, we constantly encounter numerous situations and people. Some individuals bring positivity, motivation, and joy into our lives. But there are also those who make life more challenging, burdensome, and exhausting. Negative people not only affect themselves, but also spread their negative energy to those around them, impacting the emotions, mental state, and psychological well-being of anyone who interacts with them. First, negativity is often the root cause of stress and anxiety in our lives. When we are surrounded by negative people, whether in our families, workplaces, or social lives, it becomes evident that they frequently complain about life, constantly focus on imperfections, and even create an atmosphere of tension. Their complaints not only drain their own energy, but also place a mental burden on those around them. Over time, we begin to feel drained ourselves. Having listened to endless criticisms, complaints and grievances about issues that are often trivial. Imagine a long, stressful day at work and you come home only to encounter someone who constantly complains about everything. They might grumble about the weather, the food, or every small thing that happened during the day. Gradually, their negative energy starts to affect your mood, and you feel heavy and even lose the motivation to face the next day. People like this drain your mental energy and create an ongoing sense of tension. Next, negative people have a strong influence on our emotions and personal behavior. Not only do they drain our mental health, but they also greatly impact our attitude towards life. When we are frequently exposed to people who carry negative thoughts, we can easily be drawn into the same mindset, causing us to lose the confidence and optimism we once had. Think of negativity as a dark cloud that covers your mind, making everything around you seem dull and unclear. Negative individuals diminish the brightness in our lives. Gradually, we tend to avoid new opportunities, held back by the anxiety and fear that are transferred to us by these negative people. This phenomenon is particularly evident in the workplace, where a negative attitude can spread like an infectious disease. One employee who constantly complains can demotivate an entire team, pulling down the collective performance. Conversely, a person with a positive attitude, even in difficult situations, can inspire and uplift others around them. Negativity doesn't only show up in work environments. It affects our personal relationships as well. A family member or friend who consistently criticizes or belittles others can erode self-confidence and create emotional distance in the relationship. Over time, this negativity can cause us to doubt ourselves, worry about our abilities, and even abandon our goals. Moreover, being around negative people for a long period can cause us to feel insecure, lose self-confidence, and believe that we're not good enough. Their negative comments can lead us to undervalue ourselves and start doubting our ability to achieve the things we desire. Take a simple example. When you share your dreams or future plans with a negative friend, they may dismiss your ideas and focus only on the difficulties instead of the opportunities. They not only diminish your spirit, but also make you question your own goals. Gradually, your confidence in your ability to succeed wanes, and you begin to feel that you lack the capability to accomplish great things. Negativity can also create feelings of loneliness and isolation. When surrounded by negative energy, we may feel disconnected from the world, losing our connection with others. This sense of detachment can easily lead us into a state of disappointment, causing us to miss out on opportunities for growth and progress in life. These negative psychological effects can continue to deepen and have a lasting impact on our lives if we don't learn to recognize and protect ourselves from them. When negativity invades us, not only does our self-confidence suffer, but our mental health can also deteriorate. Feelings of insecurity and inadequacy make us vulnerable, causing us to lose our sense of direction and fall even deeper into a cycle of negative thinking. We've already talked about how negative people can influence our lives and emotions. But equally important is learning to recognize these different types of negative individuals so that we can find effective ways to deal with them. Every negative person has their own traits and behaviors, but what they all share is making the lives of those around them more difficult. Here are 4 types of negative people we often encounter and how we can best handle them. Let's first talk about those who constantly complain and blame their circumstances. This is the kind of person you can easily identify in life. They frequently complain about everything around them and are never satisfied with anything. These people always see themselves as victims of their circumstances and blame everything, from work, family to society, rather than reflecting on themselves and changing their approach. What they fail to see is that this constant complaining drains the energy of those around them. Imagine you have a colleague who constantly grumbles about their job, their boss, or other co-workers. Every day at work, instead of focusing on the tasks at hand and on self-improvement, you are bombarded by this person's endless complaints. It feels like every time you try to start your day with enthusiasm, they extinguish that flame with their never-ending negativity. Over time, you find yourself adopting similar negative thoughts and losing the optimistic spirit that you once had. We can easily feel exhausted when we have to listen to their complaints all the time. And this doesn't just affect our mood, it also drains our emotional energy. To deal with this kind of person, the best approach is to maintain an emotional distance and avoid engaging in negative discussions. When they start to complain, instead of joining in or agreeing, try to steer the conversation toward more positive topics, or find a way to gently limit the time you spend listening to their negativity. Sometimes silence is the best way to help them realize that they are spreading too much negative energy and need to stop. Next, we often encounter another type of negative person, those who refuse to take responsibility for their actions. They always find a way to blame others when problems arise, instead of admitting their mistakes and learning from them. These individuals often avoid responsibility and find ways to deny their own faults. This not only creates imbalance in relationships, but also fosters a tense environment because no one wants to collaborate or work with someone who constantly shifts the blame. For example, in a group project at work, one team member doesn't complete their task on time, causing the entire group to suffer. Instead of taking responsibility and finding a solution, they blame the supervisor's poor organization or the lack of cooperation from teammates. This mindset not only destroys trust among team members, but also slows down progress and reduces productivity. To deal with such people, it's essential to establish clear boundaries in communication. When you feel unjustly blamed, it's important to speak up and defend yourself. Be firm in maintaining your position and don't let yourself get drawn into negative conversations. Make your boundaries clear, and if necessary, limit your contact with that person if you see they are not willing to change. Sometimes, confronting these issues directly is the best way to prevent negativity from spreading further. Another type of negative person we often encounter is those who fail to respect the boundaries of others. These are people who either don't know how or simply choose to ignore others' personal space or limits, and they often impose their thoughts or behaviors on others. They may not be aware of it, or worse, deliberately ignore your personal needs, leaving you feeling deprived of freedom and control over your own decisions. These individuals often invade your privacy and impose their thoughts on your life. They might constantly interfere with your personal choices, from what you should do to meddling in decisions that are entirely yours to make. This creates tension and discomfort in relationships. To deal with this situation, it's critical to set and maintain personal boundaries. We need to clearly identify what makes us comfortable and what is unacceptable, and speak up when those boundaries are crossed. Don't hesitate to say no to inappropriate requests or behaviors. This isn't selfishness. It's about protecting your own emotional energy and well-being. When we are confident and clear in establishing our boundaries, negative people will learn to respect those limits. Lastly, there are those who love to criticize and sow doubt. This type of person can be found in both professional and personal settings. They are always ready to criticize and judge what others do, often harshly and without offering any constructive feedback. These people don't just make you question your own abilities. They plant seeds of self-doubt, making you lose direction and diminish your confidence. Imagine sharing a personal project you're proud of with a friend, and they immediately start criticizing every aspect of it without offering any helpful advice. They might make you doubt your decisions and feel as though you're not capable of achieving your goals. To deal with this type of person, it's important not to let their criticism affect your emotions or decisions. Remember, criticism doesn't always reflect reality. We need to learn to distinguish between constructive feedback and baseless negativity. If their criticism holds no value, simply ignore it and stay focused on your goals. Don't let negative opinions undermine your confidence or belief in yourself. Each type of negative person affects our lives in different ways, and recognizing these individuals is key to finding the best way to respond. While we cannot change them, we can choose how we react and protect ourselves from their influence. Setting boundaries, standing firm, and being mindful of our own energy will help prevent us from being dragged down by their negativity. After recognizing the types of negative people and understanding their impact on our lives, the next and even more important step is to learn how to protect our personal energy and maintain a positive attitude. Because only when we can protect our energy and keep our spirit optimistic will we truly free ourselves from the negative influences around us. To achieve this, we need to apply specific strategies and integrate them into our daily lives. First and foremost, the environment we choose and the friends we surround ourselves with play a crucial role in maintaining positive energy. The people around us greatly influence our mindset and emotional state. If you are in an environment filled with people who encourage, support, and motivate you, you will feel energized and driven to grow. On the contrary, if you find yourself surrounded by negative people who constantly criticize, judge, or complain, your energy will quickly be drained. As Will Smith wisely said, "Don't chase people. Be yourself, do your own thing, and work hard." This reminds us that our self-worth doesn't come from seeking validation from others, but from being ourselves, working hard, and having confidence in our path. We have the right to choose positive people who will foster our growth and enrich our lives. For example, when you are embarking on a new journey with a project or personal goal, positive people will always offer support, give sincere advice, and help you stay motivated. In contrast, negative people will plant seeds of doubt and criticism, making you feel fearful and lost. Therefore, building a circle of positive friends is a key factor in maintaining good energy and an optimistic outlook. Next, an indispensable element in protecting personal energy is setting boundaries and standing firm. Many people mistakenly believe that setting boundaries with others is unkind or selfish, but in reality, it's not just a way to protect ourselves. It helps others recognize and respect our limits. A person who doesn't know how to establish boundaries is easily drawn into exhausting and negative relationships. Setting clear boundaries means defining what you can and cannot tolerate in your interactions with others. For instance, if you notice yourself being dragged into negative conversations repeatedly, you have the full right to politely decline or steer the conversation in a more positive direction. This doesn't mean you have to completely cut off the relationship, but by setting boundaries, you are protecting your own mental well-being. Another way to protect personal energy is by creating a positive environment for personal growth. A positive environment doesn't only come from the people you choose to surround yourself with, but also from the activities and daily habits you engage in. Personal growth isn't just limited to learning or skill development, but also involves mental, emotional, and spiritual growth. We can choose to engage in healthy activities such as exercise, meditation, yoga, or joining positive communities. A simple example is participating in a sports or arts group that you enjoy. These activities not only help release negative energy, but also connect you with like-minded people who share your interests and positive mindset. This environment fosters growth, helps you feel comfortable, and encourages you to pursue your passions. In addition, we must regularly manage and release negative energy. In life, no one can avoid negative emotions. But the important thing is how we process and release them so they don't accumulate and become psychological burdens. Some effective methods for releasing negative energy include meditation, journaling, or engaging in creative activities such as drawing, writing, or crafting. Meditation is one of the most effective ways to manage stress and release negative energy. When we meditate, our mind quiets and our body relaxes, helping us let go of negative thoughts and regain inner peace. Just a few minutes of meditation each day can help replenish our energy and create a positive mental state to face life's challenges. Journaling is also a great way to release emotions. When we write down our thoughts and feelings, we not only release negative energy, but also have the opportunity to reflect on the situation from a different perspective, which helps us find appropriate solutions. Journaling also allows us to track changes in our emotions, helping us clearly identify both the negative and positive elements in our lives. Taking care of ourselves and maintaining a positive attitude is essential to protecting our personal energy. We need to learn how to love and respect ourselves, putting our mental and physical well-being first. Daily habits like getting enough sleep, eating healthily, and taking time to relax not only improve our physical health, but also have a positive impact on our mental state. Sometimes it's as simple as setting aside time for activities you love, like reading, taking a walk in the park, or listening to music. These can help us recharge our spirit and energy, keeping us away from negative influences and enhancing our focus on the positive things in life. Ultimately, protecting personal energy and maintaining a positive attitude not only shields us from the negativity around us, but also creates the conditions for personal growth. We have the right to choose our environment, friends, and lifestyle habits to create a positive, healthy living space. By setting boundaries, releasing negative energy, and taking care of ourselves, we create a strong foundation to continue growing and confidently facing life's challenges with optimism and resilience. Throughout this speech, we have explored together the negative impacts that negative people can have on our lives, while also learning how to protect our personal energy and maintain a positive attitude. Life is a series of challenges, and one of the greatest challenges we face is preserving our mental strength when confronted with external influences, especially from negative people. However, we can absolutely control how we respond to these influences, creating a positive space for ourselves that nurtures a strong spirit and inner resilience. First, we learned how to identify negative people and understand the effects they have on our lives. Whether they are those who constantly complain, avoid responsibility, or frequently criticize, all of them have the potential to drain our energy and lead us astray. The most important thing to understand is that we cannot change them, but we can choose how we react and protect ourselves. Each negative person requires a different approach, but the common thread is to stay alert and be aware of our own limits. Next, we discussed specific strategies to protect our personal energy. From choosing positive relationships to setting clear boundaries with negative individuals and releasing negative energy through healthy activities like meditation, journaling, or physical exercise. These strategies not only shield us from the spread of bad energy, but also help us regenerate energy and foster personal growth. Additionally, we realize that a positive attitude is not just a choice, it's a life skill. It requires us to continually practice, maintain self-confidence, and focus on the positive, even when facing challenges. Optimism helps us get through tough times, see opportunities instead of risks, and make a big difference in both our own lives and the lives of those around us. Besides the strategies and skills we've discussed, I want to share with you another perspective. Learning to be grateful for the negative people in our lives. Why should we thank them? Because they help us understand what we don't want to become. Negative people may make our lives more difficult, but they also serve as unintentional teachers, helping us grow and develop ourselves more powerfully. As the saying goes, I am grateful for all those difficult people. They have shown me exactly who I do not want to be. These difficult individuals have allowed us to become more self-aware, to see the value of positivity, and to remind us how our actions can influence others. Instead of completely avoiding negative people, we should approach them wisely. We can maintain a safe distance to protect ourselves, but at the same time recognize that each of us faces our own struggles. Perhaps through our positive attitude and example, we may become a source of inspiration that helps them change and become more positive. Today's speech isn't just about identifying and protecting ourselves from negative people. It's also a call to action. Let's start with our own personal lives. Take control of your environment, choose friends and relationships that are positive, and don't allow negativity to dominate your life or your spirit. You can start today by identifying the relationships where you need to set boundaries, creating a positive environment, and fostering an optimistic attitude. Remember, every small decision you make to protect your personal energy will yield great results in the long run. Don't let the negative influences around you weaken your mental strength. I encourage each of us to take action. Stand firm, stay alert, and confidently face life. You have the power to choose your own path, and that begins with protecting your personal energy and maintaining a positive attitude each and every day.